30. I was a Metropolitan Police officer, as Phil alluded to. My career up to that point had been on the public order unit and the firearms team, so I'd very much been working in a different part of London before I kind of moved effectively to Buckingham Palace, and had a massive change in my working environment, to say the least. So during my time with the Royal Family, some of the biggest event I did was the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge's wedding. That was some of the biggest high-profile event. But then everything we did had a degree of kind of being kind of high-profile and certainly high pressure. Our job was to provide the security bubble for Her Majesty the Queen, Prince of Wales, King Charles as he is now, to do their job. That's what we were trained to do. Our position was afforded to allow them to work, and for that they had to trust us. They had to trust that we would do the job that we ultimately are paid to do, but ultimately trained to do, and that is ultimately to preserve life. That's what we're there for. With all the grandiose of being a royal bodyguard, etc., your job ultimately is there to preserve life. And for that they have to trust you. But for that you have to build up a rapport, and you have to kind of interact. And as Phil has kind of already said, Martin, have you got a turn yet?
Yes.
That was probably what Martin's already said. You have to kind of interact kind of with the royal family. If you can't speak to them, then it's clearly not the job for you. And you've most probably already been chosen as protection officer on your communication skills in any case, because that is something that you use far more than the hard skills of shooting, fighting, driving, etc. So you need to be able to talk to them. And they will interact with you, because that's how you build the rapport. You cannot stand there in the shadows as a silent individual, because they will constantly talk to you, as Phil alluded to, and sometimes at the most surprising moments that you'll ever expect. Up in Scotland, the Queen used to go to picnics. You alluded to picnics, Martin?
Not yet.
Yeah. The royal family would love a picnic, and you get invited to Balmoral for the weekend, and you think this is great, and I'm going to have the best food that you can possibly get in that nice castle setting, and the royal family actually take you out for a picnic. So in this picnic, we're there at one particular one, Honker by the river. And we're there, and so I open the door for Her Majesty the Queen to kind of step out, and she's telling her guest purely why we are there, who we are, etc., etc. And she said, yes, and they're really good. They even count the corgis. And at that point, on cue, my colleague opened the back of the car, and he was counting the corgis out one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she looked at her guest with a wry smile and said, I told you, always did so well, we're not making it up. Because actually, the corgis did form part of our responsibility, because we used to lose them in the long grass. Long grass in Scotland, and then you've had this perfect security event, and now you've got a missing corgi. You've got to go and find them. So I wasn't taught that on any of my protection courses of how to find a corgi, but nonetheless you kind of put it into your security plan. If you want to know what pressure is like as a royalty protection officer, yes, you're out there, you are, without wishing to be too grandiose, you're the only person that stands between a member of the royal family and somebody to wish to do them harm. So when you put them out in a public scenario, you are the only person there between them and greater harm. So that's pressure, and that's extreme pressure. And certainly my first royal walk, about 15 minutes down in Brighton with the Queen, I got back in the car and I thought my head was going to explode. 15 minutes of looking at everybody, looking for the danger cues that I expect to see, looking for things I don't expect to see. Why is that person not smiling? They're not smiling because actually they're blind, so they can't actually see that the Queen is coming towards them. An overreaction is as bad as an underreaction. But we come back to pressure. And I was a new protection officer, first tour of duty at Balmoral, and we go to church on Sunday morning. Senior protection officer is giving the postings. And he said, right, okay, this is kind of how we're going to do it today. Simon, you're going to sit there. Dave, you're going to sit over there. And there was almost an air of relief that went around the rest of the team when I was posted to that particular seat there. Kind of unaware of it, I just thought, okay, that's fine. New boy gets the kind of maybe the tough job. And at that point, I didn't know how tough that job was going to be. So Dave gets to sit over there, and Rob gets to sit over there. Senior protection officer comes back and says, are you happy with everything? And I said, yes. Yeah. He said, how's your singing? And I said, well, being Welsh, pretty good at it. So that was fine. He said, good. He said, how's your singing of the national anthem? And I said, yeah, pretty good, know the words, been singing it since I was a child, know what it's all about. So that's good, he said, because see the seat directly opposite you, the Queen's going to be sitting in that. She likes to know that all the protection officers kind of know the words to the national anthem. So now I'm getting why there was that air of relief across the rest of the team, because I'm going to be face to face with the Majesty of the Queen. Church service starts, it proceeds without any issues whatsoever until we get to the end of the service. End of the service, the organist strikes up the first couple of bars to God Save the Queen. At that point, the Queen had not looked at me whatsoever. While she knew I was there, she didn't look at me. But as soon as those bars started, her gaze just fixed on me. And now there is nothing between me and the Queen other than about 2 meters. I am singing the national anthem to the best that I can. Whether it's in tune or not, I don't know. But for the whole of that 30 seconds, she fixed her gaze on me. If you want to know what pressure is, that's pressure. Certainly working for the Queen, it's kind of great times. I did an interview this morning and we were chatting away with the royal historian and so on and so forth. And we had a little bit of a disagreement as to whether the role made the person or the person made the role. I was very much in the latter. I felt that the Queen made the role of the Queen. If that makes sense for everybody. It didn't shape her, she shaped it. And certainly when we look at it now and what the new King is going to take forward, that is what the Queen has created. She's modernised that family, she's modernised the institution of the monarchy, and I think now Prince of Wales, King Charles will take that forward. I think, yeah, that's kind of my piece that I share with you all today.